My video is Russia-Ukraine live updates. Russian strike kill over a dozen civilians in southeast Ukraine. Russian strike kills at least 13 civilians in southeast Ukraine. Woman killed in Russian strike near Zaporizhia. Mayor says. Ukraine behind attack in Crimea, source says 1 dead. US says 80,000 Russians may have died or been injured in Ukraine conflict.
Putin will be a pariah on the international stage.
Russia has never been so isolated. We have never been more united.
NATO and the West are united. And right now, he's dealing with crippling financial sanctions in his country while he has become a pariah in the world.
The unjustified invasion and violence against civilians in Ukraine has pushed the West to impose sanctions that threaten to isolate Russia from all but a handful of allies. Without an economic relationship with the West, where is Russia headed?
There was a period of time where a lot of people in the West, a lot of governments in the West thought that the way to engage Russia was through business and through trade, that Russia would someday come to our side.
In Europe, we share a vision of a European Atlantic community whole, free, and at peace. Russia should be a part of this Europe.
I think this war has proven that that philosophy is just completely bunk at this point. We are past the point of no return.
If you really step back, the post-Cold War period, there was general stability, there was a sense of great power peace, and that the countries in Europe would sort of continue to expand and take in Eastern European countries. Russia would find some place, the United States would play a supportive role in all this. That whole notion, that whole era seems to have dissipated. Vladimir Putin does consider, I think, the Ukrainians a lost tribe of this Russian world. And he really is determined to either cripple it or to absorb it if possible. He's having some trouble doing that.
Russia is not only facing a resolved Ukraine, but also the international community who is standing behind them, providing support.
I want Ukrainian people to know that the world sees you, hears you, and is in awe of your resilience and resolve.
The images of civilians with their hands tied behind their back who were shot execution style. The way that Russia has fought this war in a way that is so obviously meant to terrorize and inflict pain and suffering on civilian non-combatants is an indication that Russia simply cannot be treated the way it has before. That this is a war crime.
But what does it actually mean for Russia to be considered a pariah state? Pariah states are outcasts of the international community. While there is no set definition, an analysis of American policymakers found the United States punishes pariah states based on 5 categories: the development of weapons of mass destruction, involvement in terrorism, posing a military threat, challenging international norms, and most recently, cyber threats. The United States currently designates 4 countries as state sponsors of terrorism: Cuba, North Korea, Iran, and Syria. But foreign policy is always evolving. Cuba was removed from the list of state-sponsored terrorists by President Obama before returning under President Trump.
Effective immediately, I am canceling the last administration's completely one-sided deal with Cuba.
And as America shuns Russia, the U.S. has begun softening relations with
and use diplomacy to try to advance them.